Welcome to Achterbahn in Innsbruck for stage 3 of the Chasing Swiss tour. It's all directions in Innsbruck, up both mountains. There's the route profile there. Let's get started with the stage today. Pretty similar lineup to yesterday. You've got Wu, you've got Adrian, you've got Martin, the big hitters in this race. And as usual, it's going to be about trying to salvage Adrian and my GC hopes. Now, straight into the climb, I'm on the attack. This was not planned. I thought that I might have a touch of COVID prior to the warm-up, and then 5 minutes later, my legs are feeling good, and I'm trying to blow the field apart already. So sometimes that's racing and the instinct kicks in. As you can see, the early stages of the climb here, it's already stretching out on the right-hand side, and we're kind of getting down to the top 5 or so contenders pretty quickly in this stage. Now, soon Wu is about to start making some attacks. My thought today was that I would at least try to use his attacks to create some separation to get it to a point where it was hopefully Adrian and I riding together, able to set our own pace and that kind of thing, which I do follow that attack there, and it's starting to work a little bit. I feel like I've got pretty good legs today at this stage, and he goes again. I'm following again, trying to kind of help create that separation. Almost feel like as I start to let him go in a moment, when I see a gap, a significant gap open up, I almost feel like today might have been a day, if I was on the optimal bike, that I could potentially try and go with this move today. But anyway, there's a little gap opening up there, and that's not what I want to achieve today. So kind of let that go. Adrian and I do come together here. You can see he's creating a little bit of separation to Martin. They're unfortunately not quite able to hold his wheel. We've got a good little gap over 5th, 6th, and that kind of thing already as we head into this flatter section. And once Adrian latches on here, I make sure I kept the pace on pretty good. I felt pretty comfortable as I guess you can for that 14:54. 14:25 is quick from Wu. Now, into this descent, it doesn't really get steep for like a good kilometer or so. So I kind of make a concerted effort to keep the power on because I'm still feeling in control. And hopefully we might be able to catch Wu. And I think he's also probably, you can tell there, he's sitting up and waiting for us after a nice little effort on the KOM. Might want to ride with us for the next stages of the race, perhaps. So, going to take you through the descent as we start to take on board some more energy, which is important in this kind of racing, especially when you get a moment on some of these descents. So we're pretty much caught up to Wu now. Thanks for waiting. So give him the ride on there, and then in we go. Now, the descending dynamics in Zwift are really interesting in very small groups. I think I've mentioned it a few times. The person at the front that gets a super tuck, massive advantage. The others often have to work very hard in those 2 to 3 people groups. If you're in a big group of 10, you're fully safe with the amount of draft around to sit on that super tuck. But these cases are really difficult, and you've got to really pay attention if you don't want to get dropped. And it doesn't necessarily matter about your weight. Sometimes it does, but I find positioning and focus is probably the more important thing as we're rolling through together. And I think it's pretty soon that that Adrian and I actually start to create a little distance to Wu here. You can see it there. Drops the wheel, whether intentional or not, I'm not sure. But Adrian and I are kind of rotating through, as you can see here. One super tucking after the other, and that's instantly kind of opening up a little bit of a gap there, which is quite interesting. Not sure. It doesn't seem like he cares too much. Woo, he's probably about to go and do some harder efforts without us guys or something. But it's interesting, the descending dynamics, and I'll show you on a steeper descent in a minute how this is even trickier. But we're able to work well together through this one. We've got a nice minute gap on the chasers, so we're kind of able to at this stage just work together and keep it within ourselves. This is stage 3 of a 6 stager. A minute 30 is the gap starting the second KOM. We've just been riding steady, within ourselves, I would say, as we've opened it up another 45 seconds at the top of the hill. So 3 big stages to come. We're not going to gain anything on this stage by putting time into others. It's more about both of us getting there at 0 gap and heading on to stage 4, 5, and 6. Hopefully able to ride well. So this is interesting. Watch the right-hand side. Adrian's constantly having to sprint here to keep up to me. I got the front position, so I was in the super tuck, and he really has to work hard. You can see it there. He's working super hard to keep up as I'm in the super tuck, which is obviously like I'm not gonna escape. So he's probably comfortable of letting the gap go in this situation. But if it was not a teammate, it's very dangerous. And basically, he now gets a super tuck, and he does the exact same to me. So you just can't follow the wheel at 0. I'm having to work really hard. He's doing nothing and opening up the gap. So it's really silly, this dynamic at the moment. And look at it. He just shoots off into the distance, and he's far lighter than me. Anyway, so down onto the flat, we kind of settle into probably more zone 2, zone 3-ish on the leg snapper, I'd say. Stage 4, we're on Glyph Heights is the next course that we've got coming up. I'll quickly talk about it. That profile's wrong. It doesn't include the lead-in, and it also doesn't include the final 3 or 4K, because we are heading up the Itzicom again to finish. So it's a slightly custom 1.1 lap loop kind of thing. So it'll be an interesting one. Again, there's still 4 contenders. There's the 3 Rainbow Chasers, and there's Jonas from Level, who's yet to lose any time. So stage 6 will be key, and also any stages that one of us turn up and he's there as well will be interesting as well. So Adrian and I roll in together, trying to minimize the gaps into hundredths, which we do really well. It's 0.05 today. So a job well done. I felt pretty comfortable out there today. Don't feel like I used too much energy. A good ride from the guys. There's the Zwift Power results. So a minute 40 to Martin, who came home nicely for 3rd there, who they rode with Josiah. Through 3 stages for most people. Slot 4 still to come, but you can see the top 4 there really established. Now, Sisu, hats off to them. They are winning the team standing so far this tour, so they're going really well also. I'll catch you in stage 4, Glyph Heights, maybe some GC action. See you then.